You are starting your diet with a lie. It's a lie that's going to make you look and feel worse than when you started. A lie that will steal your muscle, pump the brakes on your metabolism, and absolutely kill your motivation. I know, because that lie cost me years of progress. For the next 12 minutes, I'm going to give you the 5 brutally honest truths I wish someone had given me. This is the advice that will save you from making the same mistake that cost me my muscle and my sanity. By the way, my name is Boris Kish. I'm an IFBB licensed coach, professional nutritionist, and a super heavyweight bodybuilding competitor in the over 100 kilo category, which is over 220 pounds on stage. I'm 6'4" tall, which is 193 centimeters. Welcome to my channel. Now let's start with number 1. And that is related to my thumbnail, and that is actually, if you overdo it, you're going to look much worse. What does that mean? It's not like that you might be looking worse. You will look worse for sure, because you have to understand nothing that is good in life happens overnight. If you overdo it, your cortisol, will spike up. This is the hormone that eating pretty much everything in simple terms to secure survival. And that means, if the cortisol goes up, your sleep will be much worse. You won't have focus. You won't have erection. You will feel pretty much impotent. Trust me, from my personal experience, you won't have pump in the gym. You will start, becoming weaker and weaker. You won't be able to perform at your work. You won't be mentally stable with your family, with your partner, with your friends. You will most likely be completely fucked, and there is no way that you will be able to fix that, because, when you simply look and feel flat, the problem is not the fat lost. The problem is because you overdid it. The simple solution to this is you have to understand, as for everything in life, getting lean takes time. It's not going to come overnight, but let's be honest, when we put additional weight on ourselves, this also didn't happen overnight, You just need a bit more time, but you will get there for sure. And if you want to take your training to the next level, I made 3 complete training splits. Link is below. I'll send them straight to your email. Number 2 is people, usually think that they have only few pounds extra. And I can tell you this from my personal experience. When I was preparing for my first contest, I thought, because, this bodybuilding contest, so I was not just trying to look fit and slim, I was really trying to look lean. I was 19 years old, and I thought, that I actually have only 10 kilos more. And then, when I realized how much fat I have also inside my organs, not only outside, it was 15, 16, 20 kilos more, because I did the off-season really shitty and I was extremely fat at the end. But because I also overdid it, it was 30 kilos at the end. It was a catastrophe. I look like shit at the end because, as I said in the point 1, I overdid it. So you first have to be really realistic that you don't probably just have 5 kilograms, that is 10 pounds around your waist. You have most likely much more, and that's, again, not the problem. The problem is if you don't give yourself the realistic picture, and if you overdo the whole process. And this is why people get, extremely surprised when they see that the diet is not going as fast as they would want to. I want to see your comment below. What's the main thing you've done to drop body fat? Number 3 is the speed. And, you really have to understand that everything more than 1 kilogram, that's around 2 pounds, right, is not actually fat if you lose more than that per week. I mean, every time when I was rushing and when it was going more than that amount that I just told you per week, it was not fat, it was mostly muscle. It is really impossible that you lose more fat than that per week. But you also have to be realistic to yourself. I mean, if you do it correctly, and I'm going to give you, of course, the solution, as I always do in all of my videos, that is, you can lose up to 12 kilograms, that is around 25 pounds, right? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. in 3 months. I mean, this is an amazing progress, right? And the point is that you stay healthy and that you don't feel like shit during the whole process, and that you don't crave for food, and that you don't get a rebound, effect when you start, unfortunately, eating that you're not supposed to do at the end of all of this. And you have to also understand that some of you might not be agreeing with me in the comment section, and that's perfectly fine. But you might say, if the person is really obese and fat, the person can lose much more fat, right, per week. And I mean, I want to tell you that my channel is not for people who are 200, 300 kilograms of fat, because this is already something else. This is not for fitness coach and nutritionist. This is for a proper, psychologist and mental institute and professional help. With all due respect, not that I'm disrespecting anyone. I'm first one who say that I'm not perfect. And we all have our insecurities and issues, right? But if somebody is struggling with that, the solution isn't a fitness diet, is something else. And I don't want to get into discussion of that because I'm not a doctor. There are no shortcuts that will make you look good. You simply have to do the process correctly. And I can tell you again, when I was preparing for my first contest, I was really rushing to lose as much kilograms as fast as possible. I started the diet too late. I had around 12 weeks only. I was losing shitload of kilograms per week, pounds on the scale, and I end up losing 10 kilos more than I was supposed to, and that was around 30 kilograms. And honestly, I dropped 10 kilos more than I was supposed to, and I look shit at the end because I was only focused on the number and not on how I look. And I was completely delusional until I stepped on the stage with other guys, and then I saw how much I fucked up. Number 4, flat face that some of the gurus and coaches are teaching you here is not normal, and it's not necessary. People are telling you here that I honestly saw even today that it's completely normal when you start a diet that you will look fat, shitty, glycogen goes out from the muscle, and this is completely fine in the first phase, and this is a huge mistake. My teachings are completely opposite from that. I mean, this also makes sense to an extent if you're, professional bodybuilder. Don't have to be an IFBB pro, but if you're doing this professionally, my channel is not for those people, and you really go into this depletion phase maybe 1 week before the contest, and even then I wouldn't recommend that. And then you go completely flat because you need to carb up later. Who does it like that? I don't recommend it to do it like that. But if you do the diet correctly, you absolutely don't have to look like shit during any phase of the diet. The point is that you look healthy, full, strong from the beginning and till the end. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for more real, no fluff fitness advice. And number 5, finally the solution that I promise you that I will deliver in every video is actually very simple. I mean, it's not simple, but it's simple if you simplify it. And without any kind of circus. First of all, you have to understand, when you start the diet, start first eating clean, slowly drop the shit that you're eating. If you're drinking milk, first week, drop the milk. Another week, drop the candy. Then third week, drop the white bread. It depends how many sinful things you have that you're putting inside of you, right? Don't go like from one end to chicken breast and broccoli, one toast and nothing else. This is the recipe for catastrophe. Absolutely don't do that. The macros that I would highly suggest is, you have a video about that on my channel. It's called Forget Calorie Diet. You don't have to watch it. I'm going to give you this in short numbers. You have to eat 200-300 grams of protein per day, 200 grams of carbs, around 50 grams of fat. This, if you train 4 times per week, if you do HIIT cardio 4 times per week, you will lose around ½ kilo to 1 kg. It's around 2 pounds per week for sure. Do you understand? don't go rapidly down. But the key, the secret to success that a lot of good bodybuilders nail it, and took me a lot to understand that, is that your cut phase, or even if you're dieting, looks like an off season. Do you understand? Just think about it. 50, 100 years ago, people were eating clean, nobody was fat. Do you understand? Keep the macros that I told you, but eat clean feed. You know, if you need sugars, take them from fruit. If you need carbs, take them from rice, from black bread, from potatoes. Proteins, you know, fish, chicken breasts, whatever you want, beef, doesn't matter. The important thing is that you eat clean during the whole period. Of course, don't cut the calories too low, don't overdo the cardio, don't go to the gym like maniac, don't do millions of splits at 1 week thinking that this will fix you. It definitely won't. And of course, I can give you the stupid extreme that I 100% am telling you don't do it. If you want to lose fat quickly, and train every day, twice a day, at least 1 hour, go to the gym by foot, do 1 hour of HIIT cardio after the training, eat only proteins, and sleep 5 hours per day. But this is not what I'm recommending. And will you lose fat faster? Yes, as well as everything else. And most likely you will be hospitalized. Therefore, drop a comment. How many kilos or pounds did you lose on your hardest cut, and how long did it take? I also want to tell you, you know, when I was young and stupid, I also, you know, did clenbuterol, I did T3, I did ephedrine when I was preparing for the contest, and it 100% didn't also help me. It just made me worse. So the key ingredients is longevity. You can look fantastic, you can look super lean, but you have to find a way, of course, that you're doing it without that you actually feel that you're doing it. Of course, if you need one-on-one guidance with professional, the link is also in the description. And if you want to learn the biggest mistakes naturals makes that stop progress, click on this video here and I'll see you there.